In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. Woohoo! World War III. No, just kidding. Okay, but we have got Israel attacking Iran. Of course, the long-time problem of the nuclear program in Iran. They were not going to use it for. They were going to use it for pretty bad things. So it's about time, in my opinion. And of course, unfortunately for us in the markets, it does hit the market a little bit. That being said, crypto is holding up pretty well at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. And the stock market pulled back a little bit yesterday, but not too bad. But of course, the war is brutal, and things happen. That's all I can say. We've got a few people in the house there. We've got Frank White. Hey, Frank White, bang, bang, early gang. Absolutely, Frank White. That was a pretty appropriate intro today. Big shout out to you. We've got Hedgehog in the house there. Woohoo! You got him before Brian, Hedgehog. Hedgehog got him better than Brian today. Here's our community leader, Brian, in the house. What's up, folks? Good to see you, Brian, as always. Big shout out to you. And, of course, Sean O'Malley in the house there. Morning from Australia, Superman. Hey, Sean, hope you're doing well in Aussie. Big shout out to you also. And, exciting times. We got Hey Gang from Hexcavator. Good to see Hexcavator in the house. What's that? Another dip indeed. A dip. Buy the dip, and it's a big dip too, right? It was a big dip, like 20%. So people, pick up a lot more. That's for sure. Was it BTFD? You're going to have to tell me what that is, Brian. I'm not that so hot with these hip kind of acronyms, but let me know. We got Hexcavator says hit the likes, definitely smash the likes on there as well. And we got Rivera in the house there. Thanks for the conversation, Recurve. That's from Rivera, you're most welcome. All right, we're going to get into a lot of the news today, of course, with what's going on, but mostly crypto, because mostly a crypto channel. But we do obviously talk about geopolitics, which is in the title today. Israel versus Iran. I was wanting this to happen probably 10 years ago, but probably it's just the way it goes sometimes to get it out of the way. But hey. Buy the dip, says Brian. Buy the dip, absolutely. All right, so let's get into some of the news and check that out. Obviously, we're going to go from. We're just going to get into it. Let's not go through it. Let's just get into it. That's all we can say. So, yeah, if you haven't reposted the show, definitely repost the show out there, and that is the link there. So. Get it out there. I might be reposted itself. I'm not sure if that actually helps. Actually, I might do that later. But I'll copy the link there and I'll post it in the chat there. So if you guys want to repost show on X, helps a lot, right? Helps a lot, and you should do it just for other influencers too. Not just myself, because I always put that out there, but. Get out there and help out. That's all the thing. It's pretty cool. That's the power of social media, right? Just get out there and network effect, right? Network effect, and get that on there. So repost show on X. Thanks very much, everybody. Just take a moment to do that. Just a look at my watch. I've got no watch, but that's the play. All right, so there we go. Let's jump into some of the titles. I got a cool picture. Do you like my picture for the thing? It's like full on World War II. I don't know. It's not even in the right age, but hey, look, war's war, right? War's war. There it is. So pretty carnage. It's not too far from the from some of the footage I've seen, that's for sure. But anyway, you guys know I was talking about the Magnificent Seven yesterday, right? Woo-hoo! I ended up doing a post. I couldn't help myself, and so I ended up setting up. Now that we're going to go through this really briefly on PulseChain before we get into the stock market news and stuff. We got PulseChain's Magnificent Seven. So I said to you guys, if you're not familiar with the stock market, it's like the Magnificent Seven. It's like the top seven, the big seven that kind of move most of the market, actually. They make up most of the market. And we got Apple, we got Microsoft, we got Alphabet, we got Amazon, we got Nvidia, we got Meta and Tesla. And, of course, all of you should probably know those names, right? They use a lot of them in everyday life. Well, I ended up matching PulseChain to that. Now, not in any particular order. I didn't match up market caps or so forth. I just sort of randomly assign them to these stock market names. I got Pulse, PulseX, Incentive Token, Hex, Soul Token, SolidX, and PDC. So those are what I call the Magnificent Seven on PulseChain. And so I think they're going to be pretty exciting to see those play out. Now, if you want to find out more alpha about that, of course, join our strategy club. I cannot say that enough. The link is in the video description. Join up to that today. That's all I can say. That is the Magnificent Seven. If you want to find out a lot more, get into the Strategy Club. Links in the video description. Only $35 a month. Super good value there as well. All right, let's jump into some of the other stuff that we had at the moment, which is Strategy Club itself. So what do you get for Strategy Club? Only $35 a month. It is you're getting exclusive content. As you guys know, I'm really the only large, significant streamer in PulseChain that does daily shows at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we cover strategy chats. We have strategy chats in there. We have top 10 high performing indexes. So that's in there as well if you want to check that out. We have a top 100 and big 100x, 1000x. We kind of go through what those are, what might actually make that happen. So you want to get into that. And of course, the daily intel drops is either daily or if not regular. It's pretty regular, almost daily, I would say. Daily intel drops and also monthly crypto reports go through. A big one there, and we've got lots more coming. So a lot more coming for Strategy Club. So if you want to get into that today, so you're definitely getting a big value for money from really the only significantly large crypto influencer that covers the markets every day and knows them pretty damn well, right? So get into that, and there's also a lot of great smart people in Strategy Club as well. So you get to benefit from a lot of people like that in there also. So get in there today. That is it. And of course, we've got a little cool video here that got posted with I kind of like this video. Thanks very much. This is from Mr. Onizuka. Thanks for making this video. And look at that. That is pretty cool. So just a little bit of mini story there with the old Superman there show, which is pretty cool. All right. So that is it. Join up to date. Links in the video description. I'm not sure if Wookie's in the house today, but definitely join up to that. I'll just post the link to this if you guys want to check it out. And you can join up. That is pinned at the top of the chat there. Strategy Club. Actually, Wookie is in the house today. I see him here. Wookie is here for the food. You are always in for the food there, Wookie. So that is the link to Strategy Club. Join up today. Well, without further ado, let's move on, and I'll see you in Strategy Club. That's all I can say. Well, let's jump over to the stock market and check out the news there. So the stock market, this is for Friday. This is the end of the week. And of course, we had Israel bomb Iran yesterday extremely effectively again, and doing some very clever little tactics there with the old Mossad and others. But the S&P 500 falls as Israel and Iran conflict intensifies. No brainer there, right? Special event, call it a gray swan event, let's say. And of course, we've got Dow Jones there down 1.8%. So, decent day down, but not super dramatic, not 3 to 5% or 7%. So down 770 points to 42,197. S&P 500 down 1.1%, 68 points to 5,976. And the NASDAQ down 1.3% at 255 points to 19,406. That's where we are there at the moment. Now, the VIX, this is about volatility, right? This is a sort of a fear index in some ways, 15%. So pretty dramatic, 2.8 points to 20.8. US dollar has climbed a little bit, only a little bit. I mean, it's not a big climb on the US dollar. And that is up, 0.29%. So just up a little bit there to 98.18. So still pretty devalued from when Trump got in. Remember back on the 20th of January this year. And of course, the dollar was sitting at around about 108 on the index versus trading partners. A very strong dollar. Now it is at 98, below 100. All right, so let's go to commodities. West Texas is obviously climbing oil. Now, I kept on talking about, American driving season coming up for summer. And people were pretty excited about that. Obviously, the oil prices are rising back up again on the fear of, Iran and the oil trade through there and everything like that. But West Texas at the moment, 7.25% increase, $5 to $73 for West Texas. Brent oil there up 7%, almost $5 to $74. And of course, gold there up 1.5%, $50 to $3,452. So perfect run for gold. And silver there up 17, only 6 cents to $36.35. But we're expecting silver to do pretty well, maybe even get up to $75 to $125 with the US devaluation. And of course, the right sort of economic growth that we're expecting under Trump's golden age, right, post 4th of July. So let's have a look at some of the obviously risks there. Iran fired hundreds of missiles into Israel, retaliation for latest attacks on Tehran. Now, they attacked nuclear facilities and military facilities, and they wiped out essentially a big part of their military leadership which was pretty incredible. They even set up the air command officers in a special meeting. They set them up by analyzing them and setting them up and leaving them in, and then they bombed them and killed them. It was pretty high-end sort of stuff, almost out of movies. So Israel carried out a military strike on Iran, hitting dozens of military and nuclear targets. And of course, the move came just days before US and Iran officials were set to attend the sixth round of nuclear talks. Now, Iran was just playing normal games, just trying to defer. So this has really put the pressure on them now because it's a pretty big deal. So Trump urged Iran to agree to a fresh nuclear deal in the wake of Israel's strike, suggesting that the next already planned attacks could be even more brutal. Writing in a post on Truth Social, the president said Tehran must be ready to make a deal before there is nothing left. And of course, that is the end game. They will take out as much as they can. So it will be multiple days of Israel airstrikes using 200 planes or more to do that. So this is without the United States, by the way. The United States is obviously sitting off the coast with aircraft carriers, sitting down in the Indian Ocean down there somewhere. I think it was. I think there's somewhere out there with big bombers on an island, nuclear bombers, all sorts of stuff over there. We got no more death, no more destruction, says Trump. Just do it before it's too late, Trump wrote. So really trying to get that pressure on there for a deal. You got to remember that the Ayatollahs are extremists. They're extreme extremists. They want the destruction not only of Israel, but they want destruction of America and of the West. They want the whole West to be extreme form of Islam, just like they've enslaved their own Iranian people. You got to remember that probably at least 80% or even maybe close to 90% of Iranian people hate the Ayatollah regime. They want it to be gone. If you saw pictures of Iran before the Ayatollah took over, it was just like a modern Western city flourishing. People were free. And, they've had to be, since I can't remember exactly, was it the 60s, 70s, they've had to be under that Ayatollah for all that time. It's been pretty sad. And, of course, the Iranian people have kind of had enough. So it could be a win-win. And maybe we'll see some internal fighting start with the weakening of the regime. So that's the kind of the ideal there. They apparently have enough fission material for about 9 nuclear bombs. Hey, look, and they're not just going to sit on those nuclear bombs as use them as mutual, defense. They'll actually use them for blowing up people, right? Whole cities. So Iran responded by launching more than 100 drones towards Israel. They all pretty much got smashed. However, they have put up a whole ton of rockets, and some of those have been successful getting into Tel Aviv, getting through the Iron Dome and the other domes that they've got there. The prospect of escalating tensions in the Middle East, a critical hub for oil production, adds uncertainty for investors. That's probably the big thing in terms of the markets, already grappling with heightened trade tensions that could dent global growth. So that's kind of the idea. Will it actually expand into oil trade routes? How much will Iran be contained? Because obviously they've still got a fair amount of their planes. They lost a lot of their air defense. They obviously had a lot of their military facilities and nuclear facilities attacked, and they'll probably continue to do that. And so that leaves them with really their planes and to some degree their ships, but their planes really, and their rockets, of course, planes and rockets. The University of Michigan's consumer report came in. So moving away from the Iran fight is the University of Michigan's consumer sentiment report rebounded in June to a reading of 60.5. That's a really good rebound. Consumer sentiment. Remember, the United States is the big consumer of the world. In the first 2 weeks of June, from a reading of 52.2. Remember, anything over 50 is typically expansion, so 60 is really good. Consumers appear to have settled somewhat from the shock of extremely high tariffs announced in April. Consumers don't really, feel the tariffs. So this writing's a little bit hyped up, but they obviously, if the prices do get up by tariffs, then they'll pay the price, but they're not really shocked. People aren't shocked of the tariffs. We're not shocked of tariffs. Announced in April, and the policy volatility seen within weeks. Now, often a lot of tariffs won't even have an impact on people, right? Because the tariffs are on products like steel, for example, which is dumped into the market. And so we've seen an analyst of Trump's steel and aluminium policies from 2016 that have had no impact virtually on prices. Because of state dumping, like China dumping, India dumping, and so it's a lot of these big tariff features don't actually play out. We've got that in place there. The May producer price index. So now we're going to sort of like factory prices or wholesale prices came in cooler than expected on Thursday, restrained by lower costs of services like air freights, matching the consumer price index released for prior day. So we're getting really good deflationary news, right? Means that the Fed should be cutting interest rates, but of course they're playing politics, right? They're playing politics with that. So we shall see. On a note, Trump warned on Thursday that he could raise auto tariffs soon, stoking fears, angst over trade just a day after claiming the US-China trade deal was done. The president also said he had sent letters to major US trading partners in the next 2 weeks outlining his planned trade tariffs ahead of July 9th deadline to strike trade deals with his administration. So he's trying to lock those in, or particularly the big ones, the top 15 countries. He's trying to lock those in. So I think he already has 3 deals that he's fairly happy with. We haven't seen those yet. But he's trying to get all the countries online to close that out before the 4th of July. So we'll see if he can get that done. He's got like 3 weeks, right? 3 weeks. All right. What else do we got? Hexcavator says, I need some strategy. Yeah, jump in the strategy club, Hexcavator. we got anything else there? When Moon, hopefully soon. Yeah, that's right. So we've got to get, obviously we had all these Grey Swan events from Trump because he's reorganizing the World Trade Order and apparently getting rid of some of the worst players, which is Iran. And hey, look, if the Iranian people can get free out of this process, I think it's a good thing. I don't know about you, but I don't like really terrorists walking around with nuclear bombs. That can't be a good thing because they will use them. But you trust me, they will use them. Be there. All right, so that's kind of where we're at the moment. Let's jump into let's go to have a look at the Fed rate monitor and see what the market thinks about interest rates at the moment, given all this deflationary news. I'm still surprised here. So yeah, we've still got so we've got the 18th of June coming up, right? So that's only 4 days away. We've got the next Fed meeting. We've got 99% of the market expecting a no change in interest rates. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. And the reason why they're doing that, I think, is because of Jerome Powell, the chair. They should be going down much lower. They should be going down much lower on that. So we shall see. And the other one, of course, is in July, we've now got 23% of the market expecting a 25% rate cut. This is ridiculous. We should be going down by a minimum of probably half, if not 3/4 of percent. And I would argue down 1%, down to 3.5%. I don't know why we're up at 4.5. This is just politics, pure and simple. And this is one of the tools that the Democrats have, right? Because Powell's basically a Democrat working for the Democrats. He recently have made comments supporting Democrat policies in radical universities. So he is just trying to hurt the American people. I say this time and time again, the Democrats and the Uni-Party Republicans of the old, there's still a few left, of course. They don't care about the American people. It's just about power and control. They will do whatever it takes to do that. And I'm not even an American, but I can see it as clear as day. Right? So it's just what it is. Yeah, it's great. Trump's going to make America great again. He's got to fix up a lot of problems that the Democrats and the Uni-Party Republicans left him. But it's going pretty well. And look, I mean, you got to think the alliance that got in Trump into power was actually moderate liberals who got squeezed out by the Democrat Party, right? You're talking about the Elon Musk, people like that of the world, and they've basically made an alliance with the conservatives, right, in the United States. And it's given us back a common sense approach to reality, and of course, given back a lot of our freedoms that these so-called people that were fighting for freedoms were taking all of our freedoms away, right? So there we go. That is pretty much it on the markets. Let's jump over to crypto. So a down day on the stocks, but not the worst thing in the world. Let's see what else we got. Then here we got some more comments. So get into the chat there, folks, if you guys got some opinions on things. Buy the dip, says Brian. I like that. Buy the dip. Eagles in the house there, $1. $1 for what, Eagle? Let us know. What's you're talking about PDI to $1? I don't know, is that PDI? PDI to $1 there. What else? We'll jump in here. I know PDI would definitely probably start moving up if Better Bank comes out soon with the modified Aave fork for PDI. That would certainly help them a lot. They need some big supply sinks there. Hexvader says, Lowell Moon, we are going to get rejected at the firmament. Facts, says Brian. I like that. Facts. What else do we got there? Hexvader says, yeah, got one with the cast there. I don't know, Eagle, what? He's spamming the chat with the $1. So, right, let's... we got PDI, yeah, okay, PDI, that's cool, and 414, yeah, 414 definitely doing pretty well there. We're going to talk about that more this week. All right, let's jump over there to the markets. Shall we go full screen? Let's go full screen, but we're going to have to hide something because I realized that I'm in the wrong place here. Actually, let's try something new. Let me try. Yeah, that's cool. Let me go there and let's see if that comes up. Yeah, nice. This is how I should be running the show. This is how I should be running the show. All right, let me add that back in. I love this. This is like a real TV studio now because I've got split studio mode in the background, and then I can just transition. Watch that. Bam. There we go. And then get rid of studio mode. That's why I can get rid of stuff without looking amateur hour. But I just told you about it, so yeah, this is the way it goes. Okay, so we got crypto is down 3%. So it's a pretty it's not huge like 10%, but 3% still pretty big on the whole. $3.41 trillion is the crypto market cap. Still super cheap, right? So if gold's 22, 23 trillion, depending on which numbers you're using, then we've still got 10x to go, right? 10x to go to convergence. Bitcoin at the moment holding up pretty strong. You got to be pretty happy. It's actually green. So stock market went down, but crypto is green, guys. That's awesome. The gold is up, right? Gold's up, crypto's up, and Bitcoin's up. At least the whole market's not up, but it's because there's 17,000 coins, 17,435 coins on the CoinGecko index. We got Bitcoin up 1.7%, $105,765. Woohoo! This is good news. We got Ethereum at the moment up 0.1% at 2,563. Hopefully that will move up a bit over the next day. We got XRP up down 0.6% at $2.14. Number 5 is BNB. It is up 1%, $653. Solana at number 6 is up 0.4%, $147. We got number 8 there, Dogecoin, up 2.1% at 18 cents. Tron at the moment down 0.2% at 27 cents. And those are our top 10. Of course, Lido has flipped Cardano. And Cardano or ADA there is down 0.5% at 64 cents. So Cardano there, Hodgkinson having a bit of trouble time there as well. But of course, then we got some pretty popular ones underneath it. Hyperliquid's been performing like a boss, right? So hopefully some of you guys had some of that or picked some of that up. That's we're only at the beginning of the bull market, so presumably that's going to do pretty excitingly well. And then we got PulseChain managing to come back from its little hack, right? That is down up there as well because they mitigated the amount, right? I think that was at 60 million on the breach. That was pretty dramatic. But of course, the negative sign was that it lacks DeFi, right? Because they were able to lock down some of the rugged funds, right? So it's good news and bad news in some ways. Good for the investors, though. Good for the investors. All right, let's jump over the top performer of the top 10 in the last week. Has been Ethereum up 2.7%. So it's still, and of course, actually Lido staked Ether winning the day up 2.8% for the week. Looking at the top performers in the top 100, we've got SBX 6900 back to number 1. It lost its position yesterday, but had been previously number 1 for quite a few days before that, and it's currently ranked at number 77. At the moment, up 36.4% for the week, 5.4% today. So SBX 6900 doing very well. Fartcoin there is up 30% for the week, number 2, up 9% today. Hyperliquid is up 25%, up 7.1% today. Uniswap up 25% for the week, up 4.9% today. And Sky, which is, if everyone likes PDI to $1, is now the renamed version of Maker, right? Is called Sky now. That is up 20.6%, up 10.7% today. Those are your top 5. We've got an interesting name below it, actually, White Bitcoin. I haven't even seen that before. It's number 32. I haven't really looked at that one. And I know it's quite highly ranked, 32, but it's up 19% at the moment. Let us know if any of you have any WBT coin and know what that is about. Top gainers overall on the CoinGecko. We've got Map Protocol up 62%. Useless coin is apparently not that useless. It's up 8%. And Jelly, my Jelly, is up 61%. Welcome to crypto, guys. Full of crazy names. Trending as well. We got Notcoin up is trending. Interbeat is up down 80%, but that's trending for some reason. And then Lambo is up 25% as well. That is trending also. Let's have a quick look at Interbeat because it is ranked number 394. What is it actually? It can be traded. It's just a trading coin. Doesn't look like it's been around. It's just been around today, is it? 12. Yeah, it's only been around for like 2 days. 2 days there. That is it. I don't even know what it does. Let's go have a quick look. Let's have a nosy. Not endorsement, of course, just checking it out. Into the beat. The center of future of EBIT. It's got a little teaser trailer there. It's at 392, so I don't know. Grand scale integrated entertainment. So I'm not even sure what it's entertaining you with. It's got a trailer down here, but I don't know what it's about. It looks pretty simple, but that is that on that one. I think that's where we're going to leave it today. Should we leave it there, or should we have a look at these other coins? Let's have a look at my jelly over on Top Gainers. See how long that's been around. So it's been around not long either. 31st of January. What does it say? It does. Tokens can be traded. Not much there. Let's have a look at the website. Let's see what my jelly is at the moment. It's currently ranked number 876 on CoinGecko. There's 17,435 tokens. So it is in the top 1,000. The fastest way to post clips from a video chat. Want to make jellies? Join the waitlist, and you can get there as soon as possible. It looks like some sort of social media thing, but that is a jelly, my jelly. So there we go. There's a couple of interesting different ones. That's going to bring us into PulseChain, and we'll probably jump back to here for that. All right. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to smash the follow button and subscribe button on X and on YouTube. What else we got going on here? I'm just looking in the chat there. I'm not even sure what screen they're showing up on, what channel they're showing up there. All right, let's jump over to the days here. So what day is it? We're on, it's currently the 14th of June in New Zealand, but of course it's probably the 13th of June in North America. It's currently at 12:30 p.m. here at the beginning of time and space. That's pretty much it. We got 763 days since PulseChain launched on the 13th of May 2023. The price of Pulse at the moment is still super cheap. Feels like we're in deja vu land, doesn't it? Deja vu. And of course, we know that sometimes these accumulations time frames can be a few years, and apparently that is the case. But here we are at quadruple 031, down 1.46% at 31% of the mean sacrifice price. Pulse X at the moment, quadruple 0269, down 1.44%. So not much. Pretty flat, although Bitcoin is up, right? So we'll probably get a 24-hour delay reversal, and hopefully we'll get on the up and up. That being said, typically Sunday is not very luster, so we'll see how we go. And of course, we've still got the Israel-Iran conflict playing out. We got PulseX as at 27% of the mean sacrifice price, so still accumulation zone. And the buy and burn 7.21% has been bought up and burned. We got an ink token there, $1.43, down 2.18%. And of course, the inflation is super low now, only 2,600 ink per day, 0.03 ink per second is being emitted from the farms. And we got Hex at the moment, 60/100th of a penny, down 1%. And EHEX there at 1900th of a penny. Combined price EX and PX at 0.8 of a penny. Like I say, there's a beautiful accumulation zones right now for PulseChain. Absolutely gorgeous. So you know what to do. Just every day pick up a bit more and hodl those bags for the run. When the run comes, it will be glorious. Take note. Trevor says PulseChain is just unbelievable tech, totally decentralized, and the founder one that one can trust. What's not to like, says Trevor. That's very true. All right, like I say, that is where we are at the moment on day 763. Let's jump over to the gas prices. 1.1 million beats are super cheap on PulseChain at the moment, 1 cent for a trade, and it can't be too bad. We got the validators as well, 50,124 validators, so we're up about 75 validators approximately from yesterday. So it's kind of cool, a little rebound there. We did lose a couple hundred the day before, right? Probably on fear. Fear is the case there. The bridge sitting at 89.4 million. It's I think that's slightly lower than what we had yesterday. I can see the DAI is down a little bit as well, maybe 100 grand. ETH is definitely down, so ETH was definitely down there. I can't tell exactly, maybe 9, maybe down 50 to 100 ETH on there on the ETH. So we definitely lost DAI and ETH over the last 10 days or so. And then, of course, Bitcoin was up to 27. We had lost 2 Bitcoin. We've just lost 1 Bitcoin again. So when I say lost 1, it could be a rounded number, right? So it could be half a Bitcoin or just over half or something. But anyway, we're at 26 wrap Bitcoin there. And so, yeah, that's where it is. I do have a snapshot from 12 days ago, but that is kind of where we are on that at the moment. And so we've got the stable coins native to PulseChain. We've got USDL, PXDC, HexDC. We still haven't got ink printer in here, Fast Abdul's liquidity forks. It's still not on there. I don't know why. Maybe he should hit them up just to get it up there because it should be there. And we got Coast there as well, sitting there, $10 million of Coast. How much have we got? There's other ones, 1 million, 1 million, 5 million. So $5.6 million in liquidity forks here, not including ink printer. So that's 15, 16 million. I don't know how much ink printer there is. There a couple million on that probably. So yeah, it's kind of where we are on the old pro there. I'm waiting for PUSD ALGO. Come on, Jacob, let's bring it on. Okay, maybe Signum's not out, but maybe you can use what's the other one? Fetch Oracle. Let us know. Always a great vibe suit, man. The stuff keeps us grinding as FUD starts to evaporate. Absolutely, Trev. You're onto it. All right, so let's jump out there. Let's have a look at the overall markets. We've got at the moment $16.6 million on. I mean, it's a slightly down. It's a very slightly down day for PulseChain, but actually we've got a lot more green candles today. So let's check it out. We've got 298,000 transactions, so that's pretty good. I think yesterday we had 12.2 million volume, so we've got 16.6 million today. We only had very few projects that were in the green on the leaderboard here. Now, this is a deck screen as default view. That's the one that we're using every day. It's the sort of 24 hours. So yeah, let's have a look here. So it's got training 6 hour, but we're on the 24-hour filter, looking at the best performers. And yeah, we got this X1 here. I think this is the X1 that did a partnership with Crypto Paradise. I'm not sure. This could be another one. I have to double check. It's been around for 9 months, but that's up at 112%. So that might be. So it's matched with Ink here. So I'm not sure if this is the same one. But that is the chart that just got pumped recently, right? Just in the last day. We go to the daily chart there. That is a big pump there. So $22,000. So I'm not sure if that's related or not, or just so. So remember, I'm not doing a big review of this. Just quickly checking it. Yeah, okay, it is the one. It's ecosystem built by Coach, right? So Coach is the one that did the X project with Crypto Paradise. They did a big stream earlier in the week, right? Was that on the 11th of June, somewhere like that? So that is in the play. 10% of X sits in the X contract, receiving rewards, burning X, and 10% was sent to the X origin addressed as a benevolent action of friendship. So there we go. But you can check that out. Built by Coach, Master Builder there as well. They have a website. They do. Let's have a quick look at X. I haven't really looked at this project too much, have I, over the weeks? But X System Supercharged by Baby X there. So there we go. All right, so that is that. It's got tokenomics, Telegram, Dextrina. So yeah, I haven't really joined that, so I probably should do that later on. But that is the chart there, and I think they had a live stream earlier this week with Crypto Paradise, the big team, 130,000 with Nick Hellman there doing great jobs with collabs. We got C-Dye there, Compound Dye, forked C-Dye there, and this here is how doing here. This got pumped as well. Man, 24K. Who's manipulating these charts, man? Who's manipulating these charts? We're up 95% on C-Dye. There we go. Let's have a look at the weekly on C-Dye. These were all performing like a boss. Remember back when there was a lot of FOMO about P-Dye going to $1, and before the Mr. Dong exploit and all that, it is still down pretty far down. Look at that. Oh my God. It's pretty bad. So it's really coming off the bottom there. So that's the way it goes. Let's go to the daily there. That's the daily. Let's scroll this roll the way back on the day. There we go. Flat line. It's all a matter of perspective there, but we're at 8 zeros, 2,800, and coming off, I guess, around 9 zeros, 6,700. So there we go. But 26K volume today on 3.3K liquidity. That's insanity. That seems pretty insane. Market cap $72. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think this thing's been rugged or something. Yeah, it's got lots of problems. Has blacklist, mintable proxy here. So we're going to leave this one alone. I should have checked that first, but I didn't. So that happens sometimes. We got UFO, so that's pretty much a dead pair. That one, that's pretty much dead pair. We're going to look at UFO. We'll cut that out of the live stream later on. Cut that out of the live stream. All right, so we got snip. All right, so we got UFO there at the moment. We got UFO. I got to double check the metrics here when I'm looking at market cap 80 million, liquidity 184, $1,100 in volume. Not a lot of volume on UFO today, but this is associated to PGC. As I said, one of the Magnificent Seven, right? One of the Magnificent Seven here, ticking away. Tyndall's out in the house. Hey, Tyndall, good to see you. Talk about great news source. I appreciate that, Tyndall. As you guys know, not only are we covering markets every day, but we're also doing moving into the news and publications, right? We've got the monster thread out there under the Crypto Night Show. We've got MVS Crypto out there as the editor-in-chief and doing a lot of cool promotions out there, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, if you guys are excited about that. If you're a team out there, you want to get the help support with promotional services, the Crypto Night Show team is the first professional promotion service out there on PulseChain. And, of course, we're lifting things up. Just like Crypto Paradise, is out there lifting the game with collaborations amongst teams. We're out there doing a lot of the news and information out there as well. So it's PulseChain is going to be professional, man. We're not mucking around in a little degen. I was going to say degen something, but we're not. We're gonna be pretty professional chain, man. And it all takes every player, right? Every player on the field has to do it. Sean says Solid X to the moon. 100% there, Sean. 100% Solid X is going to be absolutely huge on PulseChain. One of the magnificent seven, as I said it. Kind of cool. All right, let's jump over to the next one there. We got a reserve Tay. And this has been doing pretty well, up 11.7%. Let's have a look at the metrics on this one too. We've got the charts still not looking too bad. Obviously, it's from off the top. It's down, about 50%, but it's sitting at 0001000. Market cap 12.7 million, 2.4k volume. Not a lot of volume on either of these, right? UFO or Reserve Tay there at the moment. Your mum, let's see if your mum's got a bit of volume. So look at this. Now it's 119k liquidity. It's got 10k of volume, so I mean it's okay, right? It's all right. Market cap 859k, and it's pretty much at the top of the market. So your mum versus this is a PGC pair, right? So obviously there's different pairs out there for the same token potentially, and this is sitting at the top there at 21/100th of a penny. So that is your mum. Let's quick look at the website. This is probably the best one we looked at so far outside the UFO, which just happens to have live volume today. Was it your mum is taking over PulseChain? Now, I believe this is related to Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk's mum. I'm not sure of the background. I can't remember it from when he did a post on it, but we got Moon Mission, Liquidity, Web, Burn Supply. I kind of like the little animations there. It's kind of neat. Supply Burn. What is your mum? It's a little game. I'm not sure what the game's about, but there we go. Elon says to create your mum meme coin. Oh, it's on live stream on when he's playing his game. Okay, that gives me context now, doesn't it? Right, so that is your mum, and the chart's looking pretty good actually. So I don't know how controlled it is in terms of supply and stuff. So do due diligence, all that good stuff. Now the big juggernaut, of course, the Magnificent Seven, Soil, Sun, and Mini Meal. It is working like a boss. And even though it had a bit of a pullback from the high after the Austrian Worlds Summit, which is right here, this orange line here, had a bit of a sell-off there by some of the big holders. It is still at 10.6 cents, so still holding up pretty well. That's pretty good. And we've seen the big news I gave out yesterday, didn't I? I dropped all the alpha yesterday about this, and you only get that exclusive to the Kryptonite show. Honestly, I've been breaking big stories on PulseChain. These are big stories. These are not little tiny, drama stories. These are real crypto, flipping massive alpha bombs that are happening on PulseChain. So we're at the frontier of it, guys. We're at the frontier of it. Covering the information, the news, and the information. What else? The streaming every day. Come on, it's a lot of fun. So get out there. We've got Hex to Mars says Israel, Iran. Who cares? Hex to the moon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. And Mars. Yeah, I like that. We're talking about next year, right? Next year, Elon's trying to target, the first takeoff of Starship to Mars. He's going to send 5 Starships. That's the idea. He's still got to do a few things between that, like refueling and space. That's going to be pretty fun to see that happen. And then, of course, imagine 5 Starships landing in the beginning of 2027, maybe on January, February, March, somewhere in that ballpark. That could be huge, right? And then little Optimus robots walking out of Starship onto the planet Mars. I mean, come on, guys. It's going to be insane video. Now, we see it on Star Trek and Star Wars, but, this time it's kind of real, right? It's real landing on Mars. It's going to be crazy. Optimus robots out there. And the Optimus robots will probably go, screw this. We're not setting this up for the humans. We're going to make it a little robot city. They'll probably start manufacturing their own parts and their own cities and stuff. And then there'll be a war between Optimus robots and humanity. That'd be hilarious. All right. That's pretty funny. All right, so that's kind of where we are at the moment with the Sol Mini Meal. Now, if you missed the alpha yesterday, basically the idea was that there is Ramp now and Bankster, and there's 2 other on-ramps coming later in this year, are going to be feeding tons of capital onto PulseChain. And the current run rate I did yesterday on X was pretty huge. In fact, let me pull that up while I'm here because that is pretty massive. And let's scroll down here to look at that. I had a post here somewhere. Where did it go? Here. So let's zoom in on this. Bam, bam, bam. And new official Ramp Now capital coming onto PulseChain. people said, "Where's the money? Where are we going to get this money? We got the retail book playing on PulseChain. We had, we had big capital flight when the SEC, took us on 31st of July, 2023. Where is all the money going to come from? Well, obviously we know Rackham Michelle's out there doing stuff, right? So he's going to be bringing on large sort of private capital onto PulseChain. There's no doubt about that. But then who else is doing it, right? So who else? Well, we know SolidX, the big whale, fire whale, is doing big stuff with SolidX. That's going to attract a lot of capital from other chains, so that's bullish. But what else is going to give us a big amount of capital coming in? Because we don't really have access to institutions as such at the moment, right? And this big money that's coming into Bitcoin and Ethereum and things like that. So where does the big money come? Well, Ramp Now is doing it, right? So this is where the big fresh capital is coming from. And whenever you see stuff like this, really throw your support behind it, because you don't want to fud your own bags, right? So that's kind of the cool thing there. Some people were fudding Rackham and stuff like that, but he's actually trying to get new capital onto the chain. It's no use fudding him on stuff, and so forth. Even if his wife is selling stuff, whatever. But it's like new official Ramp Now capital coming onto PulseChain. Run rate is $34 million per annum. So you guys got to be pretty happy about that. This is just the beginning too. Expected to climb as limits jump from 3,000 euro to 10,000 euro to 50,000 euro. Now, I understand that the 10,000 euro is just about ready to go. So this is huge, guys. We're going to be jumping 3,000 to 10,000 euro. That's a big jump. We already jumped from 1,000 to 3,000, and this is really big deal. And they're obviously intending on going to 50k euro. Now, the one thing that's not on here is that we also know that the VIP is also, so this is basically a custom amount. This could be way higher than 50k euro. It's VIP, and that's pretty much by arrangement, and that they could open up. So let's say an investor came in, wanted to do 2 million euro, but wants to invest over a period of time, then they might say, hey, look, we'll open this up for 250,000 euro at a time. You can come in, and therefore Ramp Now will then bridge over 300,000 US dollars and be able to execute that trade, right? That's pretty much it. That's kind of like, it's almost a over-the-counter trade, right, in that sense. So for VIPs, this is an additional service to the standard ramp limits that we've got here, which is 3k euro at the moment. So 10k is imminent. So that's potentially going to open up a lot more capital coming over to PulseChain. This is, remember, what happens is that they get paid. Ramp Now gets paid euros from the people that want to buy Soil, Sun, Minimal, but they're also buying, through HexScout, buying PulseX, buying Hex and Signum token and stuff like that now as well. So we've got even more, core tokens being bought as well. And they say, I'm from Europe, and it's bringing in all these European investors onto PulseChain. And then they say, well, I want to buy it. And so they give Ramp Now basically the money. That Ramp Now gets the fee, the little margin on it. And then, of course, they bridge over the USDC dollars from Ethereum. So they buy the USDC and bridge it over to PulseChain through the official bridge, through the official bridge. And therefore, they front run that, and they typically have a pool. At the moment, they've been running at about a balance of about 35,000 US dollars at any particular point in time, and they have multiple bridgings of US dollars every day. And that will, as more demand comes on, that's going to ramp up, right? That's a really big deal. And so they're going to also obviously have the ramp up. So the limit's going to increase. They're going to have custom VIP that is currently ready to go. That we got that update 2 days ago. I haven't even put that out on X, right? In fact, I got it yesterday. That update was from yesterday. I didn't put it out on X. There's going to be a jump in customers. Okay, we're expecting that once the website is updated. Now, the Sun Minimal website, I don't think it's updated yet. So once that's updated with the dashboard, it is, they've pretty much held it off a few days to do sort of the last sort of fine tuning. And so we're expecting that. That's massive. That is ginormous. So you're talking about 70,000 customers plus suddenly having access to doing that. And of course, they're going to have the Rewards 2.0 program that's going to allow customers to pay in soil tokens, and therefore they've got to buy the soil tokens. That means euros are coming onto PulseChain, and they'll get a 20% discount on their purchases. So, what percentage of people will use that? I don't know, 30%, 70%, it's 20% discount. So we could end up, maybe it heads towards 90% plus, right? And that's massive. They've got 70,000 customers, maybe they've got 100,000, 150,000 now, right? Then that could be massive for that. So it's pretty exciting where it's going to heading. And of course, Sun AG also automated its buy and burn, went from manual to automated yesterday, within the last 48 hours. Let me just put it that way. And that they are now directly going from their bank account through to Ramp Now onto PulseChain. So this is huge. We're going to hopefully see more of that go forward. Now, we don't have no idea what the profile is going to be. My estimate is that they're probably in the kitty at the moment. Little treasury got about 8.5 million euro is what I'm estimating in the treasury. So most of it's still there, even though they've been doing buy and burns. From my accounts, they've probably still got most of it sitting in the kitty. How will that be burnt? And of course, every month, every week, they're making more money, and so more is going into that kitty. So it could be pretty exciting to see the chart over the next few weeks and months as that starts to ramp up. So we'll see what the profile looks like. We'll try and keep a tab of what that profile looks like. But in any case, that 34 million per annum, which is the current run rate, and that run rate's based on the last 26 days, and you can see all the US dollars coming over. These are sort of, they come before the buys, right? So, and they come before the buys, and basically that way they can, when people on Europe, they get their trade automatic, and that's because the capital is already there to do the liquidity. Hopefully that's, people understand what I'm saying there. And this is all the capital that's coming in, all these $15,000 lots over the last 26 days. It's pretty cool. So if you're wondering where's the money, the money's coming, guys, and you can see it right here in front of you, exclusive here on the Crypto Night Show. So I hope you guys enjoying the alpha drop there, and that is just coming in. And this is just going to ramp up. It's going to get bigger and bigger. Presumably, they're probably going to go from $15,000 lots to $50,000 lots. I mean, this is how it's going to work, and we'll see a whole ton of 50,000 lots, etc., based on growth. Now, as Sun Minimal gets bigger and as more buys come in from customers and Sun AG buy and burn, presumably this could get into hundreds of thousands of dollars. So like we could have a couple 100,000 a day coming in from, this is the way it's going to kind of play out. All right. So if we base it just on the buy and burn from last year for Sun Minimal, excluding all the customers, right, we could see, something like $250,000, $250,000 a day, I think it is, coming on to PulseChain just from that. So you see how this can really change pretty quickly. And of course, the more successful Sun Minimal is, the more money will come in to the chain. Now, I already have an idea of what 2025 is going to be. If you want to get access to that, you have to join the Strategy Club. The link's in the video description for that. And I encourage you to join up. It's pretty cool. And for those that have joined, it's going to be pretty cool. All right. So that is kind of where we are at the moment on Sun Minimal. And yeah, it's kind of cool. Now, where is the ramp now address? Well, we just scroll down here and we can see the ramp now address is down here. Actually, it looks like they've changed the address, actually. Looks like they've shifted the address here. This is the standard address here. This one here. That is CC96. That's the ramp now address. And we're going to have a look here. It looks like possibly there's a second one set up here. Possibly this one here. Yeah, this one here possibly is setting up. I'll double check that address, but that looks pretty interesting. All right, so that is the play, and we'll keep a look at that. One of the 7 magnificent 7, potentially the most valuable coin if they play out, if their strategy plays out, and so far it's kind of looking positive. This could be the $1 trillion juggernaut on PulseChain. Now it's a big number, but certainly this is going to be probably the most valuable project on PulseChain, all things equal, assuming they deliver everything as anticipated, right? So that's kind of the drop there. Now let's jump over into the rest of it. We're going to jump down the bottom here. We've got obviously a few moves since I've been pulling up some of them. We've got Love.io is up 11%. Now Love.io has a little bit of the kind of features that Saul Sun Minimal has. They have this Luffy.com site. Any purchases on there always bring a bit of money over to PulseChain, and that's been actually helping Love.io do, probably quite well. So that is the play, but we don't when they're going to trigger all their big moves like the Love.io app. They got big partnerships coming up with protocols. We talked to Anders a couple of weeks ago, and he was very, pretty, holding all that stuff back, just saying, once we feel like the market's ready to go, we will trigger a lot of those events. So we'll wait and see. It's a wait and see. Projects, we're excited about it, the potential, but they're only as good as the actions, right, and the results. So we'll keep an open mind and see how that goes. So Love.io is kind of that wild card. Got a little bit of the flavor of Saul Sun Minimal, a little bit of that flavor, but we'll see how that goes moving forward. So that is Love.io. Now, Tropa's just moved up there too, 12% at the moment. PTC, the Greys, is on the move, 8.5% there. Finfire, also up 8% there. Loan Token has been kind of surprised to the upside lately. I think we've had a little bit of a move. Let's have a quick check of that. It is coming off the bottom. But it's already had a bit of a sell-off here after a little rally. Let's see if it can find a higher low here and start to zigzag up on the Loan Token there. Now, there's only 134K liquidity. You guys know they got like 52 million. It's a little bit controversial. We'll see what they do. Are they actually going to pump it at all, or are they just living on an island island out in the Bahamas or something. Who knows? You guys decide. But that is kind of where we are at the moment. They have delivered their products, so they delivered liquid loans, they delivered the fixed Oracle, delivered was it PulseChain, multi-sig. I'm trying to remember the name. Is that what they're called? PulseChain something, PulseChain X. I don't know what it's called, but they did deliver their multi-chain. I always forget the name now. I've got to go hunt it down so that I don't forget again. But that is there as well. We got Fitzgerald Company that is up 7%. Now this is one of these sort of trying to tokenize the real world. I'm a little bit suspect of these. It's a little bit more difficult to get that sort of set up. You have a lot of legal arrangements to make that really tight. But in any case, that is up there, 7.4%. We've got X Game, of course, Solid X and X Game. I mean, come on, guys. This is going to be fun. At the moment, you're buying kind of the bottom of this, assuming that the market doesn't fall out with the old expansion of the Iran-Israel thing. But I don't think it's. I think it's probably going to get contained. But here we are at 2300th of a penny, and we're waiting. This is very close, guys, to Solid X and X Game. So don't fade Fire Whale on that one. That could be one of the big ones, right, moving forward. I say it could be. The probability is pretty high. So that is the play there, up 6.8%. There is lots coming for Solid X and X Game, a lot of stuff. I think it's going to be pretty powerful stuff. Yes, I do know of a lot of things behind the scenes, and I just can't talk about it. And it's just the way it goes. Let me see here. We got Tyndale and Hustet. Thank God for Jesus. Absolutely. Jesus is risen, Tyndale. Jesus is risen indeed. All right, so let's jump over to the next ones there. We got Teddy Bear up 7.6% at the moment. So we got a bit of movement on Tropa and Teddy Bear, James Maria projects on the move. We got RSI moving up as well, up 6.6%. Time dividend. Big shout out to KG and the team, 5.7% there. Most wanted is one of the kind of the Richard Hart, pump tires. So we've got a few pump tires in the view here. Obviously, we've got X Game. We got Most Wanted. We got Top Hat from Crypto Coffee. Did some big partnerships there with Crypto Paradise, the big team coming on board, 130,000 plus followers with good old Nick Hellman and team. Amaru is out there too in the team. So a big shout out to them. And that was a nice partnership. Now, obviously, Crypto Paradise is continuing to build new big partnerships with X out there, with Mr. Coach X, and of course also with PGC with Mr. Prairie. If you haven't checked out those live streams, that was pretty cool. So I'm really loving the partnerships and the open-mindedness and the professionalism from Crypto Paradise team. So keep it up out there, guys. I really do appreciate that. All right, so what else we got there? Teddy Bear takeover. So we got good old Moondog. There's up 4% at the moment, number 32, and it's on the move there, coming off the bottom, really, isn't it? Got quite aggressively sold off. I mean, we can't, definitely got sold off pretty aggressively. The volume sort of chipped away at it each day, didn't it? Look at that, chipping away, and eventually came down to the bottom there. Had a little wick candle down to 2,200 of a penny. Now currently at 2,800 of a penny at the moment. Had a little bit of a reprieve at 3,800 of a penny, but then got sold down on the bad news with the old battles going on, battle royale. So that is kind of it on Ted Takeover. Could be a nice little pickup on that. Obviously, that's backed by Moon King and Ian Heinisch, two very big influencers on PulseChain. Both of them over the 100,000 follower mark, right? What out there? PDC the Greys, like we said, is up doing pretty well, up 5.7%, and looks like they're having a good stream there with Prairie Banana and Crypto Paradise. Time Dim, we talked about that. Let's jump down here a bit. We've got Dow Token, the pump tires, up 3.8%. Cumimon, up 3.8% as well. It's been around for 9 months. At number 36, we've got Phoenix is up 3.7%. So we've got quite a few here. APC, UpX token from Haunted. You guys know Haunted. And was it PulseChain X, I think it was. Was it Haunted X? No, Awesome X, not PulseChain X. Awesome X, 3.6% there. And there's another one of Fire Whales tokens, right? 3.55%. This is the special one because he only owned 55% of this when he launched it, right? Whereas the other ones he owned 82% of Solid X pump tire and X Game pump tires. So this is the one that most of the public can get access to. We got ALGO there, up 3.3% there on the back of Hex. So when Hex moves, ALGO will move, right? As leverage. We got another pump dyes, the old dye. We got 3 different dyes on PulseChain, right? We got Good Dye from Matty Allen. We got P-Dye Fork, and then we've got backed by Somi big time, and then we got the old dye pump tires, and that is up 3% as well. Delt token is obviously in the mix there, up 2.8. Another pump tires. And what else there? Go Pulse, of course, 10 cents, holding pretty solid around 10 cents. Obviously, a bit of controversy around that one, but that is up 2.7% there. We got remember 5th of September, the old OG WebChef printer token, and it's up 2.5% as well. What else is going on there? Gas Money, another OG WebChef, up 2.2%. And then SolidX. So SolidX, man, this is so underpriced right now, guys. This is so underpriced. Join Strategy Club today. Join Strategy Club today. SolidX is so underpriced, guys. It is crazy. You watch this thing. You come back to this video, pencil this video, guys, and come back to this video. It is very undervalued, $9.45. In fact, let's go. And I've got a little post on that today. Man, I tell you guys, I'm dropping the alpha on X. It's like whoever gets to see it. I mean, it's pretty awesome. I'm dropping the alpha bombs on PulseChain right now. Forget all the other stuff you're reading on PulseChain. This is where all the action is happening, right? I'm telling you guys. All right, so SolidX, another alert. I mean, I'm doing this, guys, for everybody. Look at this. This is crazy. All right, so we got SolidX is going to be massive on PulseChain. Massive. I'm not kidding. These are the Magnificent Seven, right? We got X Games, staking, epic referrals, mega marketing, whales, influencers, multiple products, omni-chain. Now, this is bigger than this. I didn't even put all the alpha bombs on here, and there's some giant ones that are not on this list, guys, because I'm not allowed to talk about it. But that is huge. Go viral. This is backed by Solid Hex, the big fire whale, the friend of Randy Olasky's. This is a big deal, guys. Honestly, I can't say it enough. Once again, do your own due diligence, not financial advice, but, it's one of the Magnificent Seven on PulseChain. Thank me later. Thank me later. Or thank my cousin Alf, or whatever. All right, so that is the post. I'm going to post it in the chat there. You guys can check it out. But it is going to be huge. All right, so it's going to be pretty massive there. I think that's deserved of a magical twinkle. Here we go. That is SolidX, and these are the Magnificent Seven, right? These are the Magnificent Seven, and it is currently only at $9.50 at the moment. So keep a lookout for that. Let's go to the weekly chart, just so you guys get perspective on this one. And remember at the beginning, I'm going to auto log this. The beginning here, the second week, it went up to $265. It's currently $9.50. But look, nothing's really happened with it, really. The platform's about to launch. It's going to be ginormous. I cannot understate how big it's going to be. It's going to be much bigger than the stuff I put on here, because I didn't put everything on here because of stuff. We got staking, we got epic referrals, we got mega marketing, we got whales, influencers, multiple products, omni-chain, go viral. But there's a lot more alpha there sitting behind the scenes. So yeah, just take note. There we go. You're welcome. We're here. We're here to help. All right, so there we go. SolidX at the moment. So that is the play. All right, so let's jump away from that and let's get out of there. So yeah, that's all the way down at number 55 at the moment. So keep a note of that one. It's $9.50. Now, we also got other ones at the moment. We got Hex Pump. Oh, no, it's not Hex. It's Hex Original, up 1.7%. Now, let's talk about Hex, right? Because, this also is just underpriced, right? So when this moves, this doesn't have the same catalyst as SolidX and the same catalyst as Sun Minimal, though, right? This is all based on organic retail market, apart from market makers, Richard Hart or, Hex Gold Whale or something like that, someone doing some special event. So it's definitely got those catalysts behind it. But you've got to wait for those, whenever they're going to launch, kind of do their thing. But so this is just normal market. We're talking about normal market, not any particular, whale moves. We've probably got 5 whales in the system that can do really big things for PulseChain if they so choose. And hopefully we're going to have a lot more, in due course if Racker Michelle does a good job, gets new people on, and so on. So we keep looking at for that sort of stuff. So there we go. That is where we are at the moment on that. So Hex is obviously a pretty good pickup, and especially eHex as well. I think eHex is so underpriced. I mean, you can pick up 1 million eHex pretty cheap right now. And of course, we know Dip Catcher's over there on Ethereum building out more use cases for it with the old FlexNet. I wish you'd change the name, honestly. I wish you'd call it HexFlex. HexFlex. Dip Catcher, if you're out there, man, it's not too late. It's not too late, bro. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is for the website. I don't know. Anyway, I'm very excited about his FlexNet thing, because any use case is good, man. Don't fade a good use case. Any use case of any token adds more demand onto it, right? More supply sync and so on. So Take note. Anyway, we got Moonex out there. We got Dominance out there at the moment. These are all around 56, 57. We got obviously PulseX, most wanted pump tires there as well. Pump tires, of course, is if you take out Richard's core coins, PulseX, Pulse, Incentive Token Hex, and then you add in some of the top pump tires like Most Token and Pump Tires in particular, then you're sort of getting that full sweep of Richard Heart tokens really. And so this is probably a pretty good buy also at 1 cent. A bit more speculative though, obviously, but limited supply. And so yeah, we'll keep a chat on that. Obviously, pump tires, really not too many pump tires. I don't know how many coming over a day. So this is probably the riskier play, but I just have a feeling that maybe he pumps this as well. That's always out there. But certainly, if you don't want too much risk, then you stick with the cause, right? Stick with the cause. But if you were going to take some pump tires risk, it'd probably be pump tires, right? Pump tires out there, and a couple of the other popular ones like Yes Coffee or any of these other ones up here. All right, we're up to here now. Obviously, some other good project teams that are on PulseChain at the moment. We've obviously got Sparta been doing pretty well. Obviously, the other one is Surf. Obviously, Crypto Paradise is a big team, right? So if you think about what sort of strategy have you got, follow the whales, right? So you got Rack and Michelle, but he hasn't really got any particular token himself. He's kind of got a portfolio. You can sort of track that if you wanted to. And we've sort of tracked the ones we publicly know about. I mean, we could go and find more, I guess. And then we also got Firewall. Now, Firewall is explicitly doing SolidX, and that is going to be a decentralized casino. It's going to be a big network one, multi-chain, big influencers, all that sort of stuff. It's going to be a pretty big deal. Throwing a lot of money at that too. So that's going to be a big deal. But then we've got other protocols. We talked about Teddy Takeover potentially. Obviously, it's had a pretty big sell-off recently, but it's got big influencers, Moon King and Heinisch. These are sort of influencer strategies. So we're moving from whale strategies to influencer strategies. And then, of course, we got this big new team come over, right? This Crypto Paradise with Nick Hellman, Amaru, and others coming here. And they're doing a great job running. I mean, really professional and really getting up there. And that's what we need on PulseChain, more professionalism, right? And we're playing our role in terms of doing promotions and marketing for teams and things like that. But we need more and more of that, right? Because we don't necessarily need Wild West DGN everywhere. Like Solana does that, BaseChain does that. Let's get some professionalism and bring on. We want all the retail to come. We want them to say, "Hey, look at this place has got good information on PulseChain. It's got a lot of good projects on PulseChain. People are making money, generally speaking, rather than getting wrecked all the time. All these sort of things. We want a lot more of that positivity moving forward into this bull run, right? So it's kind of cool. It's all self-fulfilling, right? It's all self-fulfilling. We bring in more capital, et cetera, et cetera. So we got Crypto Paradise on the move and making some pretty good partnerships. Crypto Coffee, Emmett Farms, doing X, doing PGC now. These guys are really, matching up pretty nicely and doing some great stuff. So exciting. Over 130,000 followers. So another cool strategy on Surf token. They got their DAO. If you buy 200 Surf, you get into the DAO. And look at the chart, looks pretty strong, a pretty strong chart. So doing a pretty good job there. All right, so kind of cool stuff happening in the place. So we're doing pretty well here on the chart there. We got other ones, of course. Trump token. We'll probably do quite well over the bull market as well with the old Trump theme. Of course, the golden age of America, 4th of July, and of course it's coming up pretty thick and fast. So we got some pretty cool ones here in the top 2/3. We're up to like number 65 now. We've got a few more printer tokens in here, Gas Money, Dominance. What else there? I know that a lot of the Germans and stuff are covering a lot of printer tokens. Interesting enough, a lot of the German influencers on X. Did you know we have influencers on different languages? Like we always focus on English, right? Because English speaking, but there's influencers coming PulseChain in Germany, Austria. There's people in Asia now, right? There's people all over the place, and we want to build up that sort of country by country thing going on there. What else? It's kind of where we are. So that's the top 2/3. I won't go through the rest of these, but that is where we are on the markets right now. Now that's kind of where we are. Now we're going to jump back to a little bit around the Iran and Israel war at the moment. And of course, you can see this is the Times of Israel. And it's got a lot of stories here about Israel launches major offensive against Iran and its nuclear program. And of course, Trump's Lord's, obviously Trump's supportive of that. Many doubted Netanyahu would follow through, and it's a new era for him, of course. Lots of the stuff, obviously, US president. So lots of things happening there. Obviously, some bombs are making it through, to Tel Aviv and places like that. So they are having some damage despite all the Iron Dome and stuff like that. But that is definitely what's happening there in good old Israel and Iran. Now, obviously, we don't want Iranian Ayatollah to have a nuclear bomb because they'll use it. They'll use it. Imagine it. I couldn't imagine the tyranny that they'd bring upon us with that. That's all I can say. So we are avoiding a bullet there. Hopefully the Middle East is going to be a lot cleaner. Because remember, Trump just went on that big tour of the Middle East through Saudi Arabia, through the UAE, through Qatar, right? Obviously, Qatar have been funding a lot of extreme terrorism and invasion of the Europe with Islam. But hopefully we're going to have a bit of a cleanup there. We do know that the Crown Prince of Saudi has definitely moderated over the years and moderated Saudi society, which is only being a good thing. Women can drive now in cars and things like that. So definitely things have made good progress there. But there's still the extremists in Iraq with the Ayatollahs and stuff like that. So there's still a bit of work to do there. It's going to be getting rid of terrorists with nukes is a good thing. Obviously, it's upset the markets, and so far it hasn't been too bad. Obviously, it depends on how much of the oil flow gets affected. That's really probably the key thing with the markets. So we'll see how that plays out over the next couple of days. So definitely a spanner in the works. So we'll have to just wait and see how that how that goes really on the markets. Now I was just quickly going to check something. Let me just check something here. We're kind of going to bring up. We've still got a few minutes left, so I'm going to bring up some more stuff here. Let me just see here. Okay, let's go to Bitcoin. Actually, we're going to bring up a Bitcoin chart and see how this is operating. Let's bring this up. Bam. All right, let's go back to the screen. So this is the Bitcoin chart at the moment, and you can see we're still holding above 100K, right? So that's very, very positive. In fact, I'm going to move this line up here to 100K just so we've got that. That's about there. So this is the 100K line, right? This is coming up to the 9th of July, right? So we got that, the tariffs, that 10% tariff. So obviously Trump sent a letter out to close out these trade deals. So that letter is a very big signal. It's like putting more pressure on to get people to settle their deals. Those are they haven't, and so hopefully we're getting a lot of trade deals inside here. That's the hope, right? The next three weeks, because we've got to get them before the 4th of July, right? We want to get them before the 4th of July, and that would be very, very bullish. So this is all the trade deals, 115 countries. We want to get as many of the top 15 countries out as we can, because obviously those are the ones that are going to move markets, right? So trade deals there. We're talking about India, Japan, South Korea, places like that, Europe. And then, of course, we've got the big tax bill. That seems to be proceeding pretty well, actually. Had a few little hiccups at the beginning, but seems to be going pretty well. Obviously, we had the Elon Musk drama, which you can decide whether it was all just set up or not. It felt like pretty set up to me. But we got the big tax bill there. And then we got the deregulation leverage as well in place. So that's going to take a bit longer. We'll have that probably in installments. We're expecting a lot of the tax stuff, a lot of the stuff for crypto is going to be in steps as well. We just saw obviously the stablecoin regulation go through, and that looks like it's probably going to be signed on Monday. I think it's Monday for that, isn't it? The Genesis Act around stablecoins, and it really it covers US jurisdiction, so it's not going to be so much foreign. So you can still have a lot of decentralized stablecoins. But it certainly will impact, users in the United States potentially because of the collateralization that they require. But liquidity forks are all highly collateralized, so it shouldn't affect those. There's no coins over 50 billion, so they don't have to get reported. So we'll see where that will head. Although Richard Hart might be planning on a $50 billion plus stablecoin, we'll see. Probs, my friend. 50x leverage on the collateral. Let's go. All right, so that's kind of where we are at the moment. Everything's looking pretty good. We're over 100K Bitcoin. Got to be happy about that. We've got terrible turmoil in the sense of a major geopolitical thing, which is long overdue. And here we are at 105,600, so doing pretty well at this stage. Now, will next week have a bit of a sell-off and test that resolve at 100K? Definitely. Can't count that out, right? As a big event, But, Israel's probably smashing quite a lot of the assets. So we'll see how far they go through on that. Obviously, that's going to be something interesting. So, but at the moment, we're looking pretty good at 105,000. And holding over that 100K is pretty critical because we want to move up, right, to 130, 150. And, of course, Trump wants to get everything's done by the 4th of July. Definitely planned mechanism that the US is not getting involved in this. So it's all part of the, part of the PR. They're there as sort of an insurance policy, a backstop with all the US assets, the aircraft carriers, long-range bombers, etc., all the rest of the drones and everything else. The US has tons of assets around there, right? So it's all sitting there as insurance, and it's all very, very clever positioning there in the moment. So, yeah. All right, so that's kind of where we are on that at the moment on there. Yeah, my hope is that somehow the Iranian people will stand up and get rid of the Ayatollahs at some stage. It depends on how weak they have to get. Fairly weak, and this destruction will hopefully get them to that point where they are weak enough that the people feel like they can actually, maybe start to take back Iran back for the people. Right? We shall see. We shall see. Open book on that. All right, 105K, bring on 150 and bring on altcoin season. Look, we've got 4 days' time. We've got the interest rate cuts. They should be cutting rates, but the market's expecting them to do no cuts. We've had good PPI data, good CPI data. Yeah, it's let's see what happens at the space. That could trigger altcoin season, that interest rate cut. And of course, we know Richard Hart likes interest rate cuts, so that's also the other part of the narrative. We'll find out in due course. In any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. And of course, enjoy those the biggest alpha bombs on PulseChain. And of course, we've talked about SolidX and Signum, part of the Magnificent Seven, along with the Richard Hart cause. It's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, PGC the Greys as well. And of course, you want to find out more, join our strategy club. Links in the video description. Only $35 a month. It's pretty good value. People are charging thousands out there for nothing, just about nothing. So get out there and get involved. We'll see you in the strategy chat discussions soon. All right, we're going to play out cool alpha on the way out. We're going to play out first of all, we're going to play one of our favorite videos at the moment, which is Raoul Paul, the billionaire, and this is for where we are in the cycle of the market, and that we're actually pretty close to the beginning of the banana market. Obviously, we've got some major geopolitical issues, but I think we're still in that zone, leading into July, September, that kind of thing. All right, hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll catch you on tomorrow's show. Bye for now. No, really, we're going there. Oh, we're going to have an X Space next Wednesday, so I'll be advertising that today. So if you're a team out there, you want to get on that, let us know. Hit me up on Telegram or Discord. All right, bye for now.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing each cycle. It's not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase one of the banana zone, banana number one. The corrective zone, banana number two comes. Another correction, banana number three. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats, don't fuck this up, don't lose control of your tokens, don't use leverage, don't get your wallet hacked, just sit with it, be careful, don't get FOMO, do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.